One thing that we've learned is that, not the intelligence systems all around this planet, right? The way that they bring you to believe into something that runs contrary to who you are is it follows very basic, simple steps, right? And by the way, a bully will do that to you at school, so it shouldn't be that difficult to understand. But the first thing they do is they burst your bubble, your complacent bubble that thinks life is this way. I am Nicholas, my ego is this, I do that, I have this podcast, my safe little reality. Well, it bursts all that. So it starts putting confusion in your mind. It starts asking you, how do you know? Things that you can't answer with your rational mind, because rational mind cannot answer these things, let alone use words that are so finite and woefully inapt at conveying reality. And then it starts to create an imbalance inside of you. It trips you. And when you fall down and you trip and you don't have a sense of gravity, what's the first thing you do? You latch onto something, anything to stabilize you. Hence the lie, or hence the non-truth, or hence the whatever truth they want to put into your face. Then you hang on to that. Finally, stability. And all of a sudden you find yourself believing things that, well, ultimately you never really said yes or no to. You don't know. You never even asked yourself if that was right. Now think about how crucial that is from the moment you are born till about 6 or 7, right? And this is the time when we are sponges. We absorb everything. We have no points of reference. Our parents are our guardians. We trust everything they say. Then we're introduced to those other people, our teachers in school, and they tell us that's the way it is. That's what it's like. And in fact, my generation, Generation X, we were born into a world that told us that atoms exist and they are particles. They are round like this. And in the middle, you have neutrons and protons, and they kind of dance together. And outside, you have little round particles, and they're called electrons, and they just spin around like that. 40, 50 years later, not at all. No pictures of any electrons ever existed, or protons, or neutrons. But for electrons, really a toroidal magnetic wave, if you want, or a 4D representation of a toroidal shape, if you know what that looks like. And when it comes to neutrons and protons, no little spheres, but just a bunch of different little quarks and subparticles that make a somewhat of a sphere of magnetic energy. And all of this creates what we call an atom. And all of that gets together with other fields like that to create molecules, so on and so forth, until, well, this universe of ours that we see here. One thing that we can see from the past, especially these ancient wisdom for that are available to us today, is that a lot of these ancient philosophies, and I'm talking about Taoism, which to me was the first time at the age of 14 anything made sense on this planet, but Dzogchen in Tibet that says you are already perfect. Your awareness is perfect. Your view is a little skewed, and rightfully so. You've been told so many things that are not true, then you just need to wipe those lenses. Right? Same thing with a lot of other religion. Gnosticism, which is a word, we love to say to represent early Christians. Well, it turns out that there were tons of early Christians, tons of groups and subgroups in all of that. And the big umbrella is called Gnosticism, but there is no Gnostic religion. There is no Gnostic group. There are Gnostic groups that come under this big umbrella called Gnostics, but they all have one thing in common. They say, stop looking outside. Stop listening to these people. Stop reading books. Stop watching videos. Don't even watch this podcast. Who cares? What you have to do is go inside. Find your own truth.